Hey guys, Jeff here. I thought we'd open up I got a bunch of these boxes now of 88 Donruss, and I thought, well, let's open up at least half of one and see what we get. I still haven't gotten some of the main rookies that you want, like Roberto Alomar. Uh, Also looking for Mark Grace. Haven't gotten them yet, so hopefully we can pull one of those two. I mean, we're also looking for Tom Glavine, uh, Greg Jeffries, find some Bo Jackson or Jose Canseco, maybe Barry Bonds. See if we can find those. I found a couple of those guys before. Jose Canseco still don't have, but let's see what we can find in here. If we can get anything useful, anything, anything good. Still one of my guilty favorites this pack. This year, 1988 Donruss. Billy Ripken there. He's got a famous one in a Fleer set. Howard Johnson. Bud Black. There you go. We got a Tom Glavine right away in the first pack. All right. I like it. Very good. All right. First one of those for me. I haven't gotten one of them before. Kenny Maldonado. And there's a Mark McGuire. Wow. That's a hot pack right there. Okay. Jeff Reardon, Dale Murphy, and Jody Reed. So, wow, we did pretty well on that one. That's what we did there. Impressive. All right. See if we can pull some other interesting stuff. When it comes down to it, these really aren't worth anything. They don't really, these just so overproduced, they don't have a lot of value to them. Tom Brookins, Doug Jones, Chris James, Tony Fernandez, Jack Clark, Mike Burbeck, Kirk Gibson, Jimmy Jones, Greg Jeffries. Was that one of them? I don't think. Yes, it was. I'm looking right at it right now. All right. Supposedly that's worth $20 if you have a PSA 10. Nope, that wouldn't count as a PSA 10, but it would also cost more to actually get it graded for that. So, oh boy. Okay, Mike Siosa, Tim Belcher, and Greg Hoffman. All right. Well, we've got a few of them already. That's not bad. Let's see what we get now. This guy up. Whoop, that one ripped. Well, there we are. Turn that around for you guys. All right. Rich Goodman, Mike Brumley, Carl Nichols, Jim Eisenreich, Tommy Hare, Julio Franco. There's Nolan Ryan. Nice. All right. Eric King, Alan Ashby, Alan Trammell, Mark Grant, Ozzie Smith, Rick Roden, John Candelaria, and Dan Petrie. All right, well, we're making progress. That's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen the back of these, by the way, I do try to show them the best I can. I'm pretty impressed my camera's working so well today, I can tell you that right now. All right, let's do another one. Just the other day, I never got to see the Jays World Series pack 92 and 93, and I actually watched a rerun of Game 6 of 93. What a game. Wow. Man, I haven't seen baseball like that in a long time. You know they were playing, that's for sure. Andy McGavkin, Ron Oster, Mike Scott, Steve Howe, Jim Dwyer, Vance Law, Ron Darling, Jeff Robinson, Steve Alboni, Zane Smith, Jay Bell, and Craig Lefferts. Oh, one more. Mike Gallico. Yeah, I do have quite a bit of 88 Donruss now, which is great because I love the cards. But I probably don't need any more at this point. Definitely have. Gonna move these over to the other side here, so I can keep track how far I am down. Definitely have enough to complete the set at this point. That's for sure. Even though it is a pretty large set. All right. Chris Bando, Steve Jeltz, Jesse Barfield, Willie McGee, BJ Suroff, Steve Lyons, Mike Fielder, Terry Kennedy, Daryl Strawberry, he's going to go over there, Bill Madlock, Juan Castillo, Mike Marshall, Oral Hershiser, Dennis Rasmussen, Greg Gagne. Daryl Strawberry is a pretty good name, not just because his last name is Strawberry. Not as big as those other guys there, but he gets a spot in there. I think that's an MVP card too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know what cards you guys prefer. I don't have any tops right now, actually. All of my stuff is pretty much Donruss, Fleer, and I have some Upper Deck. I have some Score as well. Keith Atherton, Ivan Calderon, Ken Dixon, Rob Deere. Thought they said Red Deer for a second. Mark Langston, Robbie Wine, Mark Clear, Chris Spire, Mike Pagliarulo, Bill Gullickson, Lance McCullers, Mark Langston, Mark Lamore, Tim Raines, Paul Kilgus. I do tend to like the Donruss designs. I don't have any modern Donruss at all, because I started collecting after I really got back into. When I restarted collecting, Donruss wasn't even on my radar, to be honest. We didn't have Donruss up here when I was growing up. We had some Leaf, but that was never sold in my area. So, like 88 Donruss and whatever, that's all completely new to me. Gal Ripken, I'll go there. Al Leiter, Pete O'Brien, Alan Trammell, Greg Myers, Mark Knudsen, Mike Aldrete, Willie Randolph, Dave Rigetti, Rob Nielsen, John Moses, Bob Boone, Benito Santiago, Mackie Sasser. Yeah, I had a lot of Score. I had a lot of Upper Deck when I was growing up. I had a very small amount of Fleer Ultra from '94. Most of my stuff I collected basically from 91 to 94, maybe, and some stuff in between from up to 96. I didn't really have a big collection. I just bought cards when I thought felt like it. Jack Levzorko, Tim Laudner, Bob James, Dave Schmidt, Bobby Bonilla, Scott Bales, Jeff Sellers, Atlee Hamaker, Keith Hernandez, Scott Fletcher, Tony Fernandez, Hubie Brooks, Expos, Mikey Fitzgerald, George Bell, Gino Petrelli. Of course, it being Canadian, we only had 2 teams back when I was growing up, and then, of course, now we only have one, the Jays. I've always been a Jays fan up until, I like the Jays now too, especially with their close to, or their good runs there, 15 and 16, I guess. Getting really close to the World Series. Would have been pretty cool if they got. And Devin White, Frank Viola, Ed Romero, Mike Griffin, Al Padrique, Greg Swindell, Bob Stanley, Don Robinson, and there's another Daryl Strawberry. Pete oh boy, let me try that again. Incaviglia. Dion James, Floyd Yeomans, Andres Galarraga, Dave Steeb, and Domingo Ramos. Yeah, nowadays I'm more of a Rockies fan. Reason being, I've seen a game with my brother, and I really enjoyed it. And it's so much cheaper to go see a game there and get like decent seats. We had incredible seats when I went there, and it cost about, I think it ended up being about $90 a ticket. But I mean, you can't even get on the main, like the lower benches in Toronto for that price. Gary Redis, Marvel Wynn, Mickey Tuttleton, Doyle Alexander, John Smiley, Paul Nose, Mike Campbell, Don August, Steve Ontiveros, Terry Steinbach, Dave Hengel, Greg Minton, Ron Darling, Bill Thompson, and George Brett. Wow, so we definitely, those first few packs were definitely the hot packs, as it were. We're seeing really do stuff quite like that back in the day. But we're definitely not getting the ones we're looking for anymore at this point. I'm hoping we get another Barry Bonds. I really would like another Barry Bonds. Jose Canseco would be nice. And I really want a Roberto Alomar. I don't have one of those yet. Fred Manrique, James Steele, Alfredo Griffin, Walt Terrell, Darnell Coles, Dave Martinez, Rafael Pomero, Bob Brenly, Jay Howell, Mike Davis, Scott Bradley, Donnie Moore, Cal Daniels, Lance Parrish, and Frank White. I do have some more cards coming. I also have some hockey stuff coming pretty soon. Looking forward to that. I picked up, Walmart had a bunch of the Upper Deck retail release of Parkhurst stuff, so I picked up a bunch of that. Looking forward to that. I had some of the a little bit of the Parkhurst cards back in the day. So I'm looking forward to getting some of that, and I've got a huge lot of basically 1990 to about 93 hockey stuff coming. Upper Deck, Score, Pro Set. I had all those when I was growing up. I'm looking forward to opening that stuff. Brad Kaminsk, Rafael Ramirez, Bruce Hurst, Jody Davis, Jose Mesa, Bill Pacoda, Charlie Liebrandt, Mark McGuire. That's interesting. Is that a different one than the other one? I got looked now. Yeah, we had one earlier, right? It is different. That's interesting. Same guy. One's the MVP and the other's the regular card. Very interesting. Okay, cool. All right. Continuing on. Joe Hesketh, Eric Davis, Bill Doran, Bobby Witt, Rene Gonzalez. There he is, Roberto Alomar. Sweet. No, it's not centered real well. Otherwise, it's in perfect condition. It's too bad it's not centered that great. Maybe we'll get another, who knows. But that's excellent. I've been looking for that. Perfect. Dan Plazik. Awesome. We're doing good here. There's I have seen people go through like a whole box of these and get none of these guys. Absolutely none of them. So this box is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Rick Honeycutt, Dave Meads, and we're not even halfway through it, by the way. Kent Urbeck, Luis Guayo, Roger Clemens, I like him too. Shane Mack, he'll eventually get into the Hall of Fame. He'll eventually get there. Ted Power, Kevin McReynolds, Calvin Schiraldi, Ryan Sandberg, Ray Knight, Lito Perez, Terry Pendleton, Gary Getty. He'll eventually get in there. I know he's got the whole steroid thing going on, but eventually, I mean, even if he was on the stuff, you still have to admit he was still good at what he was doing. Because, I mean, I could take a bunch of that stuff and I'd still be terrible. So there was still skill there. Yes, it wasn't fair, but there's still skill involved. Ted Higuera, Pete Smith, Bob Sebra, oh, come on, Dave Magadan, Sid Bream, Mark Gubusa, I'm not sure, Kevin Seitzer, Sean Dunstan, Randy Myers, Barry Larkin, Danny Darwin. Man, you gotta love the stashes back then. It's awesome. Steve Bichelle, Mike Boddicker, Kurt Wilkerson, John Palowski. Very cool. Yeah, I dig the design of these cards. They're really nice. I know to everybody else that's crazy, but I really enjoy them. And I like opening wax too, like genuine wax packs. I never got to open them when I was a kid. They had all plastic tin style things back when I was younger. Glenn Davis, Eric King, Dave Smith, Kirk Gibson, Steve Lake, Jimmy Jones. Wow, okay, I was like looking ahead apparently. Charles Hudson, Wally Backman, Tom Brookins, Doug Jones, Chris James, Tony Fernandez, Jack Clark, Mike Burbeck, and Jim Wynn. It's going to be a long video. I'm going as fast as I can, too, here, really. And in between, I'm trying to give you a little bit of an entertainment value by giving you something to talk about. I don't know a lot of the stats and stuff. I know who I'm looking for. I got my own personal ones, and I know the ones that other people look for. But I don't know everything, and I know I'm skipping some probably that are bigger names. But I know the names that I remember as a young lad, and I know the big names that people look for when they're looking through these cards. Bill Buckner, look at that stash. I mean, come on, that's awesome. John Cerruti, Bo Diaz, Pat Clements. So, almost halfway done here. Avalanche of packs sitting off to the side, wrappers. Bob Deere, Bob Oeda, Jeff Calhoun, Dave Bergman, Glenn Braggs, Mike Ciosa, Tim Belcher, Guy Hoffman, Keith Atherton, Ivan Calderon, Ken Dixon, Kurt Manwaring, Mitch Williams, Mark Langston, and Robbie Wine. Let me know if there's something specific you guys would like to see. I pretty much focus on older, like sort of 90s stuff. I wouldn't mind doing some 2000 stuff, but the problem is when you get into that, a lot of the cards start to stick. And sometimes you can end up paying a lot for those boxes, and you lose everything because they all get destroyed when you take them apart. So, but let me know if there's something you'd like to see. Felix Furman, Gene Garber, Tom Hank, Gus Pollider. Oh, look at that, another Roberto Alomar, and it's even worse centered. That's too bad. Darn. Glad I got it, but all right. Don Plazek, Rick Honeycutt, Dave Meads, Ken Turbeck, Luis Agallo, Roger Clemens. Now that one's pretty well centered. Oh well. Ricky Henderson. Very cool. Put him off to the side there. Ozzie Virgil, George Bell. All right, we're halfway through, guys. Try to get this done in the next 10 minutes because this video is going to be super long. All right. Ruben Sierra, Donnie Mill, Bill Wilkinson, Rich Gossage. We're probably going to start seeing some doubles. Ooh, a checklist. Look at that. First one. Jeff Hamilton, Mike Dunn, Terry Poole, Willie Hernandez, Randy Reddy. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Ripken baseball family. Nice. Tim Stoddard, Len Dykstra, and Alan Tremmel. I think I might actually put that, so yeah, I'm going to put that family one to the side. That's pretty cool. I had a Cal Ripken glove when I was growing up. Had no idea who the guy was. I knew he was famous. People talked about him, but he wasn't on the Jays, so as far as I'm concerned, he didn't exist. I know that's probably sacrilegious to some of you, but that was the truth. It didn't matter to me. All I knew was Roberto Alomar back in the day, Joe Carter, later on Otis Nixon, stuff like that. I knew those names. Mel Hall, Von Hayes, Jimmy Key, Donnie Cox, Mike Burbeck, Gary Walker, Rafael Santana, Mike Young, Glenn Wilson, Jack Morris, Pedro Guerrero, Dave Anderson, Jose Gonzalez, Buddy Bell, and Bert Bylevin. Yeah, I wonder if we're actually going to get any of the other guys. I think we still need to find. We got the Glavin. We need a Grace and a Jeffries, I think. And it'd be good to get a Canseco. And it'd be nice to have a Bo Jackson and a Barry Bonds. So we'll see if we get them. Don't know if we will. But hopefully. Put these off to the side. Sorry, guys. Not trying to slow down here. So much for 10 minutes, though. That's definitely not going to happen. All right. Cass Phelps. What do you guys do with the puzzle pieces? Out of curiosity. Calvin Schiraldi. I've basically been using them for separators in my card boxes. Terry Pendleton, Gary Getty, Glenn Davis, Eric King, Marty Barrett, Ted Power, Mookie Wilson, Steve Lake. Ooh, come on. Charles Hudson, and Wally Backman. I never bothered to put one of those puzzles together. I know I could at this point, probably 4 or 5 times over. But you sure get a good collection of them after a while, that's for sure. Tom Verdansky, Bob Forsch, Vincent Palacios, wow, Bob Brower, Harold Baines, Mike Moore, Dave Leiper, Matt Young, Ron Robinson, Mike Flanagan, Bob Walk, Steve Farr, Kelly Gruber, Wally Joyner, and Dwight Evans. Oop, they're all over the place. There we go. So do you guys prefer tops? Or do you like Donruss? I know some people have an issue with Donruss, at least current Donruss and Panini products. At least in baseball, they don't have the license to use logos, so some people don't like that. But I think you get a deal by the looks of it if you if you go for it. Get some extra hits in their stuff. I personally don't mind, although it is nice to see the different logos. Do you guys wish companies, Score's owned by Panini, I guess, but do you guys wish they were still producing score cards, or if Upper Deck or something was still into it, or anything like that? I think it'd be kind of cool to have some of those names back. I mean, I think Upper Deck does some special edition stuff with buybacks and whatever, but they don't. No one has the license except for Topps, so that limits it to Topps products and Bowman products. So I was not a fan of Topps back around this time. They never had any Topps up at our variety store, which is where I bought all this stuff. So we had Upper Deck and Score and stuff like that, but that was about it. We didn't see any Topps up there, and Topps tended to be more expensive, even when I saw it at other stores. So I never had any growing up, even baseball or hockey. All right, another one down. Getting lots of commons now, that's for sure. What we got here? Open this guy up. All right. Chuck Finley, Juan Berenger, Carlton Fisk, Eric Bell, Jim Gotts, Dave Clark, Mark Greenwell, Will Clark, Dwight Gooden, Ed Correa, Gary Thurman. Oh, he looks stunned there. Scott Terry, Rob McClure, Ernie Witt, Mike Stanley. There we are. Another one down. We may have gotten all the hits in quotes, mind you, that we're going to get in this. They all came early on, I guess. Let's see what we got here. Wally Ritchie, John Marzano, Tony Gwynn, Wes Gardner, Frank Williams, Alex Trevino, Rich Gedman, Mike Brumley, Carl Nichols, Jim Eisenreich, Tommy Hare, Julio Franco, Rocky Childress, Mike Henneman, and Alan Ashby. I think we probably got what we're going to get, but you never know. See what happens. Got quite a tower of cards now, and an even larger tower of wrappers. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't bother putting it in the description in these videos anymore, but if you guys like tech podcasts, me and a friend of mine host a tech and technology podcast called Technobabble on my website, redbluegreen.ca. If you want to check that out, go for it. Don't have to. Just letting you know. We do sometimes upload them to here, but I often don't have a lot of time to do that. Just for editing and so on. But we'll try to get more into that. We don't make any money or anything off of it, so it's just a hobby. But we do enjoy doing it. So if you're interested, we cover focus on a lot of PC technology, but we'll talk every once in a while about tech, and we always have we'll sometimes have some gaming news, and we always have what we call the gaming round table at the end, where we talk about what we've been playing or issues we feel are going on with the gaming industry. And I always find the talks pretty fun, but I'm also one of the talkers, so what do I know? I know we have subscribers, though, so, somebody likes it. Richard Datson, Gary Templeton, Dave Stewart's, Mike Heath, Tommy Gregg, Rick Sutcliffe, Ken Obertfell, Dennis Martinez, Scott Sanderson, Greg Catterett, Dave Val, Brian Downing, Jack Clark, Tom Newell, and Dan Quisenberry. If you guys like the 88 Donruss, I'd love to know. It gets a really bad rap, as a lot of junk wax era stuff does. There certainly are some better designed junk wax era stuff out there. This is sort of the leading edge of junk wax. Prices certainly are going up now, so I'm getting what I can while I can. That's I suppose it's Ken Griffey Sr. Okay. Ed Lynch, Kevin Mitchell, Jose Rijo, Al Newman, Lonnie Smith, sorry. Bob Dernier, Mitch Webster, John Franco, Tim Tufel, Dale Mohoric, Sick. There's Billy Ripken, Jeff Reed, Ron Darling. Yeah, I like this era stuff. I'd like to open some older Donruss stuff, but it gets relatively expensive, and if you don't get like one of the bigger names, one of the rookies or whatever, it's really not worth it to me. Dave Anderson. Not that I'm in it for the money, but if I'm going to do something, I would like to get something at least kind of nice out of it. But if it's not really a guaranteed thing, which it isn't, I really don't want to get into them. I don't make any money off these videos, so I'm not. This is all out of my own pocket. I still like to collect this stuff, but it has to be. I mean, I have to be a little bit smart about it. But just so I'm clear with you guys, I don't buy this stuff as an investment. I think if you invest in baseball cards, you're always going to lose. It's always interesting to know the values of things, but you're not going to come out ahead typically. R.G. Reynolds, Jerry Dongleaton. Oh, there's the Tom Glavine. Very cool. All right. Not very well centered, but that's all right. Kenny Maldonado. There's Mark McGuire. All right. And now it's pretty close to center, but not quite. Jeff Reardon, Dale Murphy, Jody Reed, Ruben Sierra, Donnie Hill, Mike Moore, Mark Davis, Mike Devereaux, and a checklist. Getting close to the end here. We're on pack 5. 5 to the last. Let's try and get that Bo Jackson and the Barry Bonds. All right, Cloud out Washington. Well, that's a new card. So John Kruk, Scott Bankhand, Darryl Miller, Tommy John, who is known for Tommy John surgery. Checklist. Chuck Finley, Juan Berenguer, Carlton Fisk, back in the names we've had already. Jim Gotts, Dave Clark, Mike Greenwell, Will Clark, and Dwight Gooden. All right. I think we've seen what we're gonna see, but we got 4 left. You never know. You might get lucky. You might get more of what we already have, or I might get a Bo Jackson or a Barry Bonds, or who knows? Maybe even our elusive Jose Canseco. We haven't gotten to Don Mattingly yet either, actually, which I thought we would have gotten by now. But anyway, Mike Lloyd, Joey Meyer, Scott Terry, Rob McClure, Ernie Witt, Mike Stanley, Richard Dotson, Gary Templeton, Dave Stewart, Mike Heath, Tommy Gregg, Rich Sutcliffe, Gerald Perry. Whoops. Tom Foley. And Scott Sanderson. All right. We are down to 3 packs. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get one? You think we'll get Bo Jackson? Or Barry Bonds? Let's see what we get in this one. All right. Jeff Hamilton, Mike Dunn, Jesse Orozco, Ed Correa, Mark Grace. That was one of them. That's one. That's one, I think. Yep, it is. And it's a little off center too, but that's all right. Looks like that's par for the course here. Dave Wells, Rick Leach, O.D. McDowell, Bobby Thigpen, Benito Santiago, Storm Davis, Frank Tanana. Hey, there we go. Barry Bonds and Leon Durham underneath that. So take a quick look at it. That's pretty close to center, but there's, yeah, not that I grade it, but it's got a little bit of an ink issue on it, so that's too bad. But we got one, so that's good. That's good. We definitely got one. That goes over in the pile there. And none too soon either, because we've only got 2 packs left. Will we get a Bo Jackson, Jose Canseco? Let's see what we can get out of this. Love to see one of those two. That would mean we got pretty much everything that we'd want. Ted Simmons, Randy St. Clair, Jamie Moyer, Damon Berryhill, Jerry Reed. Another nice stash there. Kirk McCaskill, Mark McGuire, Kevin Gross, John Davis, Jay Aldrich, Jeff Dedman, Ed Lynch, Jose Uribe, Luis Polonia, and Junior Ortiz. One more pack. We need that Bo Jackson. Jose Canseco. I'll be happy with what we got, but I really would like one of those. Let's see what we get. Let's open her up. If I can get it open here. There we go. All right. Whoop. Let's turn that around so you guys can see it. All right. Greg Ketterit, Dave Val, Brian Downing, Jack Clark, Tom Newell, Dan Quisenberry, Greg Brock, Ken Griffey, Frank DePino, Mike Lacoste. There he is. There he is. Jose Canseco. Very off center, but we do have him. Very cool. All right. Al Newman, Lottie Smith, and Bob Dernier and Mitch Webster. So no Bo Jackson. But I think we did pretty well out of all of that. You know, the best thing about this is this box is in really good shape, too. I'm planning on keeping that. That's pretty cool. That's what a box looks like, by the way, if you guys don't know. That's what the puzzle looks like completed. And just so you know, that's Dale Murphy on the cover. You get a fake signature of that on there, but that's pretty cool. Oh, we're losing packs. All right, let's go over the hits here. We did get a few. We did all right. A couple of my own personal, ones I collect from my personal collection, as it were, my PO and PC, but most of it is relatively bigger hits. Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, Mark Grace, Mark McGuire, Tom Glavine, and that's more of a PC thing there. The Ripken baseball family, it's kind of like that. Ricky Anderson, Roger Clemens, that's a PC style thing. Roberto Alomar, another Roger Clemens, another Roberto Alomar. Darryl Strawberry, Cal Ripken, Darryl Strawberry again. Oh yeah, it's 2 different ones. Huh. Okay. Nolan Ryan, Greg Jeffries, Mark McGuire, and Mark McGuire, and Tom Glavine. So we did all right there. None of them are... first, Mark McGuire's pretty well centered. I'll show you that there. That's pretty well centered. It's not perfect, but it's in pretty good shape. So let's see. The other one's in really decent shape. None of the ones you'd really want to send in for graving. There's a Roger Clemens, but he's not quite worth that yet. But I wouldn't send anything for grading anyway. Barry Bonds is really close, but there's an ink abnormality in the one corner. It's pretty hard to see, but it's up in this corner. Actually, you might see it there, but it's actually very close to centered. But it's all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll have more videos coming your way, and talk to you guys later.